Welcome to Build Through Time. Today we're uncovering a true icon of American ambition and innovation, a place that feels like the very heartbeat of New York City. And, well, we're exploring the fascinating figure who envisioned it all.
That's right.
We're talking about Rockefeller Center and the incredible, multifaceted legacy of John D. Rockefeller Sr.
It's a story woven through, audacious vision, profound economic upheaval, and an enduring monument that has shaped not just a city, but the very fabric of modern philanthropy. We're going to pull back the curtain on how this colossal project came to be, dive into the surprising history of the land it sits on, and peel back the layers of the complex character of the man whose name it so prominently bears.
Get ready to explore how a city within a city was born during the darkest days of the Great Depression. Uncover unexpected controversies and intriguing secrets embedded in its very walls, and understand how a colossal fortune ultimately transformed into a blueprint for modern giving.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
We promise some truly surprising insights that will make you look at this landmark and the man behind it in an entirely new light.
Absolutely.
So let's begin this journey with the audacious origins of Rockefeller Center, a true city within a city concept that, well, it really defied the odds. The story begins, as all good real estate stories do, with the very ground it stands on.
Right, the land itself.
Before any steel girders rose into the sky, this sprawling 22-acre plot in Midtown Manhattan had a completely different purpose. Imagine, if you will, New York City in the early 1800s.
Hard to picture sometimes.
From 1801 to 1811, this very site was home to New York's first botanical gardens, known as the Elgin Botanic Gardens. It was a lush, green expanse designed for scientific study and public enjoyment, a world away from the towering skyscrapers we see today.
It's quite a contrast, isn't it? After its decade as a scientific garden, the land transitioned. Around 1821, it was acquired by Columbia University. Now, Columbia was a growing institution, but by the turn of the 20th century, specifically around 1900, their main campus had long since relocated uptown to Morningside Heights.
Right.
This meant this incredibly valuable midtown acreage, right in the heart of what would become a bustling commercial district, was essentially sitting dormant. Columbia had no practical use for it, nor did they possess the immense capital or, frankly, the development expertise to transform it themselves.
So prime real estate just waiting.
Exactly. It was a prime piece of undeveloped real estate, ripe for a visionary.
And that's precisely when John D. Rockefeller Jr. steps onto the scene. The year is 1926. The prestigious Metropolitan Opera, then housed in its aging building, was actively searching for a new, grander location for its opera house.
A big move for them.
Huge. Columbia, despite owning this prime plot, quickly realized they simply couldn't afford the ambitious construction plans for a new opera house on their own. So, John D. Rockefeller Jr., a prominent philanthropist and businessman in his own right, stepped in.
He saw an opportunity.
He offered his support, and after extensive negotiations, Columbia University agreed to lease the land to him. What's truly astonishing, when you consider the economic climate that was just around the corner, is the sheer foresight required for such a deal. It wasn't a short-term gamble, but an 86-year lease agreement costing Rockefeller Jr. a staggering $3 million per year. Think about that long-term commitment.
86 years. That kind of foresight, especially for a sum that substantial in the 1920s, truly speaks volumes about his long-term vision, even if the initial plan was, just for an opera house.
Right.
But then, as history vividly reminds us, grand plans can be spectacularly derailed by unforeseen disasters.
Definitely.
The pivotal moment for the future Rockefeller Center, with an almost cinematic irony, arrived on October 28, 1929. On that very day, architects were officially assigned to the Metropolitan Opera project, ready to begin designing what would be a magnificent cultural center. And what happened the next day?
The stock market crashed. Black Tuesday. The very kickoff of the Great Depression. The timing is almost too perfect to be believed.
Unbelievable.
That catastrophic event, as we all know, didn't just rattle Wall Street. It wreaked havoc on the entire world economy. Suddenly, the Metropolitan Opera found itself facing dire financial constraints, its patrons losing fortunes, and was forced, absolutely compelled, to abandon its plans for a new opera house on Rockefeller's leased site.
Yeah, the funding just evaporated.
And just like that, John D. Rockefeller Jr. was left holding a massive, incredibly expensive 86-year lease on undeveloped land in the middle of what was rapidly spiraling into an unprecedented economic catastrophe. It looked, to all appearances, like a monumental disaster.
And this right here is where Rockefeller Jr.'s genius for pivot truly shines, embodying a concept many later called creative destruction.
Interesting term.
Instead of succumbing to despair or simply trying to offload what looked like a disastrous real estate liability, he sprang quickly into action. He saw the void left by the Met's departure not as an empty space, but as an enormous opportunity.
So in turning crisis into opportunity.
Precisely. His new vision wasn't just to fill the space, but to create a self-contained city within a city. This wasn't merely about constructing buildings. It was a bold, almost audacious bet on the future of mass media and urban development, even as the nation plunged deeper into the Great Depression.
Wow.
He anchored the entire complex with the burgeoning giants of the mass media entertainment industry, RCA, NBC, and RKO. He was essentially predicting the future of communication and entertainment.
It's just incredible to consider the sheer audacity of making that kind of decision, investing so heavily in a future that few could even imagine, especially when unemployment was skyrocketing and confidence was plummeting.
Absolutely. Nerves of steel.
And the various names he considered for this ambitious new complex are quite telling, too. Rockefeller City, Radio City, or Metropolitan Square, as a historical nod to the opera that almost was.
Right.
Interestingly, the Rockefeller family initially had strong reservations about having their name plastered all over such a massive commercial project. They valued their privacy and were, concerned about public perception.
Understandable, given the family name's weight.
However, they were eventually persuaded. The argument was that the powerful Rockefeller name recognition would serve as a bigger lure for tenants and symbolize stability in a volatile market. So in December 1931, it officially became Rockefeller Center, embracing the family name.
And that foresight, along with the strategic branding, undeniably paid off. By 1937, despite the complex being designed as a media hub, only the iconic Radio City Music Hall retained Radio City in its name.
Oh, really? Only the music hall?
Yeah. The complex quickly expanded its appeal beyond just radio, embracing print media, moving picture media, and general commerce. This proved its immediate and broad attraction, demonstrating that the city within a city concept had quickly transcended its initial focus.
So why is this initial phase so important for you to understand? Rockefeller Jr.'s decision in the face of the Great Depression isn't just a tale of survival. It's a profound masterclass in what we now call creative destruction. This concept suggests that monumental opportunity and true innovation can often emerge only after old structures collapse, challenging us to look for growth and new possibilities where others might only see ruin.
That's a great way to put it.
It highlights how audacious vision can persist, adapt, and even thrive through immense adversity, leaving an indelible mark on the landscape and culture of an entire city, proving that sometimes the greatest leaps forward happen during the deepest crises.
It really sets the stage for the construction effort itself.
That unprecedented vision, however, was only the first step. Next came the monumental task of bringing this city within a city to life, a truly Herculean effort that transformed a bold concept into a tangible icon.
And the scale of construction was, frankly, staggering, especially given the depths of the Great Depression.
Right. I mean, to make way for the new complex, nearly 230 existing buildings had to be razed. These weren't just abandoned lots. They were homes, small businesses, tenements, a vibrant part of Midtown life.
A whole neighborhood, basically.
Exactly. More than 4,000 tenants who had been living or working in those structures had to be relocated. Can you imagine the logistical nightmare and the human displacement of clearing such a massive urban footprint during a time when people had so little?
It was an immense undertaking, a complex dance of demolition, negotiation, and construction, all under immense public scrutiny. The ambitious master plan called for the construction of 14 distinctive buildings, all designed with elegant, uniform limestone facades, creating a harmonious architectural statement.
That unified look, so iconic.
It is. And to give you a concrete sense of the sheer size, in December 1931, they placed a record-breaking order for 14 million cubic feet of Indiana limestone.
14 million.
14 million cubic feet. At the time, this was the largest such order ever placed in the world, involving massive quarries, complex logistics for transportation, and an army of skilled stonecutters and masons. It paints a vivid picture of the sheer scope of the development, a true feat of engineering and material supply chain management for its era.
It's just mind-boggling. And despite the economic climate, these massive structures started rising with remarkable speed. The RKO building, which was the first completed, proudly opened its doors in September 1932, a beacon of progress.
A sign of hope, maybe?
Definitely. Just 3 short months later, the magnificent Radio City Music Hall, designed to be the world's largest indoor theater, opened its doors, setting the stage for the entertainment hub that Rockefeller Center would quickly become.
An instant landmark.
Then, in 1933, construction began on Rockefeller Plaza itself, the private road that would become central to the complex's unique layout. And that work continued through 1937, cementing the urban design.
One of the most cherished traditions of Rockefeller Center, and indeed of New York City as a whole, is the annual Christmas tree in the plaza.
Oh, the tree, yes.
What's truly fascinating here is its humble and deeply moving origin story, which began well before the official traditions. The first famous Christmas tree was put up in the plaza in December 1933. However, the true genesis of this tradition dates back even earlier to 1931.
Oh, before 33.
Yeah, and it has a beautiful, heartwarming Italian influence that speaks to the spirit of the immigrant workers.
Ah, this is a story that truly makes you smile. The very first tree was a modest 20-foot balsam fir, not even in the plaza itself, but on the actual construction site.
Right on the site.
It was erected by a group of Italian immigrant construction workers who were building the center. These men, many of whom had left their families and traditions behind in Italy to find work in America during the Great Depression, gathered what they could find. Homemade garlands, empty tin cans, strings of cranberries, even scrap paper.
Wow. Just using what they had.
They decorated that humble fir. It was their impromptu way of expressing gratitude for the work they had during such desperately difficult times, and crucially, a way to lift spirits, to bring a little bit of joy and homespun celebration to the bleakness of the Depression.
It deeply highlights how these workers, steeped in Italian traditions of celebration, family, and the Presepe the nativity scene, which is often a central part of Italian Christmas displays, brought a piece of their cultural home to a foreign and incredibly challenging environment.
That's beautiful.
That small act of erecting a tree fostered a profound sense of community, hope, and resilience amidst profound uncertainty. And speaking of adaptation and clever pivots, the famous ice skating rink that we all know and love,
A winter classic.
actually replaced what was initially unpopular retail space in 1936.
No kidding, it wasn't planned.
Nope. This demonstrates the center's management adaptability in the face of initial missteps, quickly turning a commercial failure into a wildly popular and enduring winter destination.
Clever. Beyond its architectural grandeur and those now beloved traditions, Rockefeller Center wasn't just a monumental construction project. This is an absolutely massive job creation engine during one of the most desperate times in American history.
Hugely important for the economy, then.
The project employed an astounding 40,000 to 60,000 workers at its peak, providing crucial jobs, steady wages, and a sense of purpose when millions across the nation were unemployed and facing destitution.
40 to 60,000 workers.
Imagine the daily spectacle of those thousands of men from every background, converging on that single site, working tirelessly. This sheer number of workers provided vital employment during the Great Depression, acting as a significant stimulus in an otherwise stagnant economy.
And the rapid commercial success of the project, even amidst ongoing economic hardship, was phenomenal. By the fall of 1939, just a few years after its major buildings opened their doors, the site boasted more than 26,000 tenants.
Wow, that quickly.
Yeah, from burgeoning media companies to retail businesses. And it received an incredible 125,000 visitors per day.
125,000. Daily.
Daily. Imagine the vibrancy, the sheer foot traffic, the hum of activity in that city within a city. Its commercial viability was undeniable, a testament to the concept itself.
Amazing resilience.
By 1941, Rockefeller Center was almost completely leased, a stunning achievement. And by 1944, it achieved an astonishing 99.7% occupancy of its 5,290,000 square feet of space.
99.7%. In the middle of the war, basically.
Exactly. This rapid lease-up didn't just showcase its immediate commercial triumph. It cemented its role as a beacon of economic recovery and a symbol of American resilience.
So what's the lasting significance here for you? Rockefeller Center wasn't just a building project. It was a literal job creation machine during a desperate time in American history.
A true engine.
Its ability to pivot in the face of disaster, to innovate in its design and purpose, and to attract people and businesses so quickly made it a powerful symbol of economic recovery. It stands as a testament to the power of bold, strategic investment, even when the odds seem completely stacked against it.
Yeah.
It forces us to consider how massive projects, even in times of profound crisis, can not only stimulate economic growth, but also redefine an urban landscape and inspire a nation.
And that brings us neatly to the man whose name is on the building, the source of that initial wealth.
Exactly. Now let's shift our focus from the concrete to the conceptual to the architect of the immense wealth that made such a monumental project possible. John D. Rockefeller Sr., a figure whose impact on American business and philanthropy is, well, almost unparalleled.
A towering figure.
He was born on July 8, 1839, in Richford, New York, the second of 6 children. His early life was, in many ways, a fascinating study in sharp contrasts, laying the groundwork for his complex character.
Absolutely. His complex family background deeply influenced the man he became. His mother, Eliza Davison, was a thrifty and devout Baptist who rigorously instilled in him the maxim, willful waste makes woeful want, and diligently taught him to work, to save, and to give.
A strong moral compass there.
A foundational influence. On the other hand, his father, William A. Rockefeller Sr., famously known as Devil Bill, was a charming yet unscrupulous con artist, a patent medicine salesman who often operated on the fringes of legality.
Devil Bill, wow.
He infamously bragged about cheating his sons, believing it would make them sharp and resilient in a tough world. It was a truly unconventional upbringing, a push-pull between piety and pragmatism that undeniably shaped his unique character and his later approach to business.
Quite the combination. Despite this unusual and challenging environment, Rockefeller showed early promise and an uncanny methodical nature. At just 16, in 1855, he landed his first real job as an assistant bookkeeper for a small produce commission merchant in Cleveland.
16, starting out.
He quickly excelled not just at numbers, but in developing efficient methods and systems. He became particularly adept at calculating transportation costs and, crucially, understanding the intricacies of freight rebates, a skill that would later prove invaluable.
Ah, the rebates. Key later on.
Even as a teenager, his focus was on efficiency and understanding the underlying mechanics of business. He reportedly harbored 2 great ambitions as a youth, ambitions that seem almost impossibly bold for a young man from his background, to make $100,000.
Which was a fortune then.
Which, for context, would be the equivalent of over $3.3 million in today's money, and perhaps even more ambitiously, to live 100 years.
He almost made that second one, didn't he? Lived into his 90s.
Very close. His entry into the oil business in 1863 proved to be, as he later called it, the critical action that defined his path. He transitioned from the produce commission business, recognizing the nascent opportunity in the burgeoning oil industry, and built his first oil refinery in Cleveland.
Right place, right time.
Then, in February 1865, a pivotal moment arrived. He bought out the Clark brothers, his partners, for $72,500 at auction. This act of strategic consolidation established the firm of Rockefeller and Andrews.
Taking control.
He later famously stated that this was the day that determined my career, marking his full commitment to the oil industry. By 1868, his firm, Rockefeller, Andrews & Flagler, was already the largest oil refinery in the world, a clear and undeniable precursor to the Standard Oil giant that would soon dominate the global market.
Just a few years later, already the biggest. Incredible growth.
And what a giant Standard Oil became. John D. Rockefeller Sr. co-founded Standard Oil of Ohio on January 10, 1870, with his brother, William Rockefeller Jr., and his brilliant business partner, Henry Morrison Flagler. His relentless, almost obsessive pursuit of efficiency was truly legendary, setting new benchmarks for industrial operations.
He was obsessed with waste, wasn't he?
Totally. While his competitors would often dump as much as 40% of their crude oil product as unusable waste, a standard practice at the time, Rockefeller found ways to turn almost everything into profit.
That's where his innovation and ruthless pragmatism truly stood out. He used gasoline, which was initially considered a dangerous waste product, to fuel his own refineries, transforming a liability into an asset.
Smart. Very smart.
Tar, another byproduct, was used for paving roads. Other leftover materials were meticulously refined into lubricating oil, petroleum jelly, and paraffin wax, all profitable products.
Finding value everywhere.
He even took vertical integration to an extreme, hiring his own plumbers to cut the cost of pipelaying in half, and famously built his own barrels, reducing their costs significantly. This wasn't just cost-cutting. It was a masterclass in waste reduction, vertical integration, and operational efficiency that was unprecedented for its time.
But not all of Standard Oil's practices were so benign or simply about internal efficiency, were they?
No, not at all. The infamous South Improvement Company cartel, for instance, revealed the more aggressive, monopolistic side of Standard Oil.
Yes, the cartel.
This was a secret agreement that offered Standard Oil preferential treatment with steep discounts and rebates of up to 50% on freight charges from the railroads. What's more, Standard Oil even received rebates for competing products shipped by other companies.
Rebates on competitors' shipments.
Yeah.
That's audacious.
It's blatant favoritism and anti-competitive behavior. Naturally, it sparked immense outrage from independent oil well owners and smaller refiners, leading to widespread boycotts and protests.
I can imagine. It certainly did. This period also gave rise to the infamous Cleveland Massacre in 1872, a truly shocking display of market dominance.
The massacre, yes.
In less than 4 months, Standard Oil absorbed an astonishing 22 of its 26 Cleveland competitors. Rockefeller's tactic was simple, yet devastatingly effective. He'd send his representatives to competitors, often showing them Standard Oil's meticulously kept books to illustrate their vastly superior efficiency.
Look how much better we are.
Then he'd make them a decent offer to buy them out. The unspoken yet very real alternative was a threat to drive them into bankruptcy through price wars and then simply buy up their assets cheaply at auction.
Tough tactics.
He, however, saw himself less as a ruthless competitor and more as an angel of mercy, believing he was saving a chaotic, inefficient industry by making it stronger, more efficient, and ultimately more competitive.
A controversial perspective, to say the least.
He rapidly expanded Standard Oil's reach through both vertical and horizontal integration. This meant not only refining, but adding pipelines, tank cars, and even an extensive home delivery network, creating a fully integrated supply chain that left little room for competitors.
Controlling everything, cradle to grave.
And the impact on consumers was undeniable. Before 1870, oil light, usually from expensive whale oil, was largely a luxury for the wealthy. Within a mere decade, thanks to Standard Oil's efficiencies and scale, kerosene became affordable and widely available, with prices dropping by nearly 80% over the company's lifespan.
So there was a benefit. He literally brought light to the masses.
Yes, a huge societal impact.
Yeah.
Despite the very real benefits to consumers, the criticisms mounted, focusing on his monopolistic tactics. In 1879, Pennsylvania indicted Rockefeller on charges of monopolizing the oil trade, which ignited a national conversation about Standard Oil's aggressive business practices and the immense power of trusts.
The legal battles begin.
To centralize his sprawling holdings and bypass state regulations, Rockefeller's ingenious lawyers created the innovative Standard Oil Trust in 1882. This was essentially a corporation of corporations, where individual companies exchanged their stock for trust certificates, all managed by 9 trustees, including Rockefeller.
A clever legal maneuver.
While innovative, this structure immediately attracted widespread public suspicion and was quickly imitated by other burgeoning industrial giants. Critics famously condemned it, calling Standard Oil the most cruel, impudent, pitiless, and grasping monopoly that ever fastened upon a country.
Strong words.
Rockefeller, ever the pragmatist and outwardly composed, responded with a characteristic blend of detachment and responsibility. In a business so large as ours, some things are likely to be done which we cannot approve. We correct them as soon as they come to our knowledge.
Taking some responsibility, but maybe deflecting too.
By the end of the 1870s, he was already a millionaire, but his focus has shifted from direct operational control to indirect influence, subtly altering oil storage charges and creating the first oil futures market in the early 1880s, further cementing his control over the entire industry.
Playing the market itself. The landscape was changing, though, forcing even Standard Oil to adapt. Growing foreign competition from nascent Russian and Asian oil fields began to emerge, but more significantly, the invention and widespread adoption of the electric light bulb began to fundamentally erode kerosene's dominance.
The end of the kerosene era looming.
Rockefeller, ever the astute businessman, recognized this shift and quickly adapted. Standard Oil began producing gasoline for automobiles, which had previously been considered a mere waste product, demonstrating remarkable foresight once again in identifying and capitalizing on emerging markets.
Always looking ahead.
However, the relentless legal and public pressure continued. The Sherman Antitrust Act of 1890, initially used more to control unions, became central to Standard Oil's eventual breakup. Ohio, for instance, successfully forced the separation of Standard Oil of Ohio in 1892.
And of course, no discussion of Standard Oil is complete without mentioning Ida Tarbell's seminal 1904 publication, The History of the Standard Oil Company.
Ah, Tarbell. Crucial exposé.
She meticulously documented the company's espionage, ruthless price wars, and heavy-handed marketing tactics in excruciating detail. Though she explicitly stated she never had an animus against their size and wealth, but they had never played fair, her investigative journalism fueled significant public backlash and governmental scrutiny, effectively shaping public opinion against monopolies.
She really put a human face on the impact of their tactics. The culmination of these relentless pressures came in 1911 when the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that the Standard Oil Company of New Jersey violated the Sherman Antitrust Act and ordered it to be broken into 34 new independent companies.
The big breakup.
These included entities that would later evolve into modern giants like ExxonMobil, Chevron, and BP. What's truly incredible, and perhaps the ultimate testament to Rockefeller's strategic positioning, is the outcome for him personally.
He actually got richer, didn't he?
Unbelievably so. Holding over 25% of Standard's stock, he became the country's first billionaire. His personal wealth soared to an astounding $900 million as the new company's combined net worth quickly rose fivefold.
Wow, the breakup made him wealthier.
To put that in perspective, in 1913, his wealth was nearly 3% of the entire U.S. gross domestic product, an unprecedented accumulation of wealth derived from a forced breakup.
Just staggering. So why should you care about John D. Rockefeller's Sr. story? It's not just about accumulating immense wealth. It's a masterclass in business innovation, aggressive competition, and adapting to rapidly changing markets.
Yeah, absolutely.
His practices and the legal challenges he faced, particularly the antitrust lawsuits, truly set the stage for how large corporations operate and are regulated even today.
The echoes are still felt.
His story illuminates the inherent tension in capitalism. The relentless drive for maximal efficiency and profit often leads to incredible consumer benefits like lower prices and wider access, but it also raises critical questions about market control, ethics, and corporate power, a debate we are still having with today's tech giants and global corporations.
That tension is key, and it leads directly into his other major legacy, philanthropy.
Exactly. It's easy to focus on John D. Rockefeller Sr.'s immense wealth and formidable business acumen, but his legacy is just as, if not more, profoundly defined by his transformative philanthropic efforts.
A complete pivot in public image, almost.
And the roots of his giving stretch back much further than his massive fortune into his youth. At just age 16, he began by giving 6% of his modest earnings to charity, primarily to his church.
16 years old, already tithing.
And by age 20, he was already rigorously giving over 10% of his income. Much of this early giving was indeed church-related, specifically to the Northern Baptist Convention, reflecting his deep personal faith.
His mother's influence was undeniably profound here, as you mentioned. She instilled in him the deeply held belief that money-making was a God-given gift, a talent to be stewarded.
Right, that idea of stewardship.
And he was further encouraged by a Baptist preacher who famously advised him to make as much money as he could and then give away as much as he could. This philosophy became a guiding principle throughout his incredibly long life, framing his approach to wealth not just as a means of personal accumulation, but as a powerful tool for systematic public good. It set the stage for a new kind of philanthropy.
Initially, as you can imagine, his giving was somewhat scattered, responding to individual requests. But as his fortune exploded into truly unprecedented sums, Rockefeller Sr. found himself literally overwhelmed by the sheer volume of request letters for financial assistance.
Drowning in mail, basically.
His office was deluged, and he couldn't possibly vet every appeal. This is precisely where the crucial role of Frederick Taylor Gates comes in. Gates, an ordained Baptist minister who became Rockefeller's chief philanthropic advisor, transformed Rockefeller's giving by organizing it, quite literally, as though it were a business.
Bringing that same efficiency to giving.
He brought systematic rigor to charity. Gates's insight was nothing short of revolutionary for philanthropy. He quickly realized that many of the organizations Rockefeller had been indiscriminately supporting were, in his words, dubious, or simply not making a real impact.
Cutting through the noise.
More importantly, Gates argued that the giving wasn't addressing the underlying systemic social problems of the time: pervasive poverty, widespread ignorance, devastating disease, and deeply entrenched racism. This strategic shift, moving beyond mere charity to tackling root causes with scientific rigor, was the true beginning of what we now recognize as modern philanthropy.
Right, the shift from charity to systemic change, that was huge. A systematic, data-driven, and long-term approach to charitable giving.
And the impact of this new systematic approach was absolutely enormous, particularly in the realm of education. Rockefeller Sr. famously founded the University of Chicago, contributing a colossal $80 million over the years, a sum that was truly mind-boggling at the time.
$80 million for one university.
This massive investment rapidly transformed it into a world-class institution by 1900, attracting top faculty and students. He often referred to this as the best investment I ever made, recognizing the exponential return on human capital and knowledge.
Beyond the University of Chicago, his educational philanthropy was incredibly broad and impactful. He provided major funding for the Atlanta Baptist Female Seminary, which later became Spelman College, a historically black college for African-American women.
Spelman, yes. Important legacy there.
This was very much in alignment with his wife, Laura Spelman Rockefeller's deep dedication to civil rights and women's equality. The Spelman family themselves had strong abolitionist ties tracing back generations.
Ah, the family connection.
He also funded the establishment of Central Philippine University in 1905, which was both the first Baptist and the second American university in Asia, extending his global reach. And his creation of the General Education Board in 1903 was pivotal,
The GEB.
promoting education at all levels, notably supporting black schools in the South and significantly influencing the groundbreaking Flexner Report of 1910, which fundamentally reformed medical education across the entire country, setting new standards for professionalism and scientific rigor.
So, reshaping medicine, too. His impact on medicine and public health was equally groundbreaking and perhaps even more surprising. In 1901, he founded the Rockefeller Institute for Medical Research, now known as Rockefeller University.
Still a major research center today.
This institution became a powerhouse of scientific discovery, linked to an astonishing 23 Nobel laureates for its pioneering work in biomedical research. Then in 1909, he established the Rockefeller Sanitary Commission, which was instrumental in the near eradication of hookworm in the American South.
Hookworm, a huge public health issue then.
A debilitating parasitic infection that severely hampered economic and social progress and also played a key role in controlling yellow fever in the U.S., a devastating epidemic disease.
What truly makes his investment in cutting-edge medical science an unusual choice is that Rockefeller himself, despite living an exceptionally long and healthy life into his 90s, reportedly had no great faith in medicine as it was practiced in his time, often favoring homeopathy.
Really? He favored homeopathy.
Yet he invested massively in rigorous empirical medical research, demonstrating his profound commitment to systematic problem-solving and public welfare, even when it ran contrary to his personal inclinations.
Fascinating contradiction.
This culminated in his creation of the Rockefeller Foundation in 1913, which he endowed with $182 million. This foundation broadened its focus to public health, advanced medical training, and arts initiatives, notably endowing Johns Hopkins School of Hygiene and Public Health and establishing the Peking Union Medical College in China, profoundly impacting global health.
This systematic approach also highlights the fascinating challenges of intergenerational giving and the complexities of managing such immense wealth for philanthropic purposes. The sheer volume of philanthropic requests and the vastness of the fortune led to the formal creation of the Rockefeller Foundation.
Which wasn't immediately welcomed, right?
Exactly. Initially, it faced tremendous suspicion from the public, particularly given the public perception of Standard Oil's business practices. So both John D. Rockefeller Sr. and his only son, John D. Rockefeller Jr., as he was known, worked tirelessly to gain the trust of the American people, transforming the family's image from industrial titan to benevolent benefactor.
Recognizing Jr.'s shared sense of obligation and deep commitment to public service, Rockefeller Sr. gradually transferred approximately $500 million to him, a staggering sum.
$500 million.
Jr. then became chairman of the Rockefeller Foundation, expanding its programs significantly and focusing on even broader global challenges. The family's enduring principles, outlined in works like The Rockefellers, A Legacy of Giving, continue to resonate today. A profound sense of duty to improve the common good.
That sense of duty.
The critical role of family traditions in transmitting these values across generations, and the recognition that philanthropy becomes far more meaningful when personal experiences connect to a cause that genuinely resonates with the family's core values.
This incredible legacy of giving, far from being confined to one generation, continues through multiple generations of Rockefellers. The Rockefeller Brothers Fund, for instance, was formed by the Brothers Generation Jr.'s 5 sons, pooling their resources to tackle contemporary challenges.
To keep that tradition alive.
And later generations, the 5th and 6th, continue this tradition, collaborating on diverse initiatives, from global health to local projects like community gardens in New York City. It's a fantastic example of values, not views, being passed down.
I like that distinction. Values, not views.
Allowing each generation to apply those core philanthropic principles to new challenges and evolving societal needs, demonstrating an incredible adaptability.
Indeed, there are clear and direct parallels here to what we now call modern venture philanthropy. That's where donors really dig deep into issues, commit to long-term change, and get directly involved, much like a venture capitalist invests in a startup.
Right, very hands-on.
The Rockefellers exemplified this strategic approach, demonstrating a personal investment and interest in the causes they supported, going far beyond simple financial contributions to ensure real, measurable impact. They laid the groundwork for how large-scale strategic philanthropy operates today.
So why should you care about this profound philanthropic legacy? This section reveals that Rockefeller wasn't merely a capitalist. He was a true pioneer of modern philanthropy, tackling systemic issues like poverty, ignorance, and disease with the same rigorous analytical approach he applied to his business empire.
Applying business principles to giving.
He profoundly shaped education, public health, and the very concept of organized charitable giving, leaving a blueprint for large-scale, impactful philanthropy that continues to influence the world today, proving that a fortune, when strategically deployed, can truly change the course of human progress.
It's a remarkable second act, or maybe parallel act, to his business career.
Definitely. So we've explored the past, but what about Rockefeller Center today? This iconic complex isn't a static relic frozen in time. It's a living, breathing, continuously evolving urban ecosystem.
Still very much alive and kicking.
Today, it still proudly comprises the original 14 magnificent Art Deco buildings from the 1930s. But it has expanded significantly, now including 4 additional towers constructed along the Avenue of the Americas during the 1960s and 70s, and 1 standalone building added in 1947.
That's a significant and strategic expansion that reflects the evolving needs of New York City. All told, the complex now boasts over 17 million square feet of prime leasable office space.
17 million square feet.
Its sheer size and remarkably strategic midtown location played a truly crucial role in shaping New York City itself. It helped to irrevocably shift the city's business epicenter from the historic financial district of Wall Street, which had long been the sole heart of commerce, to Midtown Manhattan.
Right, pulled the center north.
Creating a new, vibrant, and enduring hub for commerce and culture that continues to thrive.
That's a huge shift in the city's geography of power. So who owns and operates such a colossal, evolving landmark? Currently, Rockefeller Center is owned by Rockefeller Center Properties, Inc., Trust, with its primary shareholders being the Crown family of Chicago and Tishman Speyer Properties of New York.
Tishman Speyer, big name in real estate.
Tishman Speyer, a major global real estate firm, also serves as the operating partner, taking on the massive, complex responsibility of managing all the properties within the sprawling complex, from leasing to maintenance to daily operations.
The operations are incredibly sophisticated, as you might imagine, for a city within a city. Maintenance alone requires a full-time staff of 235 people, supplemented by additional seasonal workers during peak times.
235 just for maintenance.
There's a dedicated director of operations for infrastructure, overseeing everything from HVAC to plumbing, and a director of cleaning for all public areas, ensuring pristine conditions. Even the beautiful Channel Gardens, a beloved public space,
Oh, love the garden.
have a dedicated gardens manager, a chief gardener, and 9 full-time gardeners who meticulously oversee the seasonal changes, from spring blooms to the selection and decoration of the famous Christmas tree. It's an orchestral effort of urban management.
Security and hospitality are also absolutely paramount, especially given the sheer volume of visitors. The center employs a large team of non-professional, uniformed guards who are in direct and constant contact with uniformed police officers on paid detail, ensuring a coordinated response to any situation.
A constant police presence, too.
This includes a director of security, 18 administrators and supervisors who manage the vast team, 2 staff members on the control board, 247, and 125 uniformed patrol guards, with even more brought on during the busy holiday and summer seasons.
Wow, that's a small army.
And for visitors, there are concierge services readily available at 30 Rock, offering self-guided tours, presentations, and general assistance. It's truly an integrated, seamless system designed for efficiency and safety.
And the symbiotic relationship with NBC, whose iconic studios are housed within 30 Rock, is quite interesting. NBC, for example, pays for the security and cleaning provided by Rockefeller Center after their popular Friday morning concerts on the plaza.
Ah, the Today Show concerts.
Highlighting just how tightly integrated the various functions, tenants, and events are within this living city within a city. It's a testament to the efficient management of shared resources.
Beyond daily operations and tenant management, the center actively engages in programming its vast public spaces. There's a dedicated marketing director who oversees large-scale events which are meticulously designed to compel public interest, drawing millions of visitors throughout the year.
Keeping it vibrant.
What's crucial, however, is that these events are never explicitly used to promote commercial development within the center, maintaining a balance between public engagement and commercial enterprise. This commitment to public access and vibrant programming is key to its ongoing vibrancy and appeal.
The skating rink and, of course, the globally recognized Christmas tree remain the two most popular programs that draw millions of people from around the world annually.
The big draws, yeah.
Other notable events include the spectacular Flower and Garden Show, the elegant Louis Vuitton Classic, and various sculpture shows, often staged in collaboration with nonprofit organizations like the Public Art Fund, showcasing art in public spaces.
Always something going on.
However, these large-scale events come with their own unique challenges. They are often incredibly costly due to their sheer scale and the meticulous planning involved, and managing the immense crowds and associated noise requires constant, rigorous coordination with the New York City Police Department to ensure safety and minimize disruption.
Logistical nightmares, I bet. Financially, Rockefeller Center remains robust and highly relevant in the 21st century's global real estate market. Tishman Speyer and Henry Crown & Co. are currently in the process of raising $3.4 billion through a single borrower's CMBS transaction.
Okay. CMBS, commercial mortgage-backed securities.
Exactly. Essentially, it's a type of large commercial real estate loan that's packaged and sold to investors as securities. This particular transaction represents the majority of a massive $3.5 billion mortgage loan on the properties. This is a highly significant deal, set to be among the top 5 single-asset, single-borrower CMBS deals since 2014, and notably the largest such deal after 2021.
Wow, that's major financing. Shows confidence.
Demonstrating the immense confidence in the asset. And the financial health of the center is further underscored by its strong occupancy rates. As of July 2024, the properties were remarkably 92.6% leased to over 400 diverse tenants, a sign of its continued commercial appeal.
Still pulling in tenants. KBRA, a prominent credit ratings agency that assesses financial risk, independently valued the property at approximately $3.73 billion, assigning it a loan-to-value of 93.9% from their perspective.
Okay, so the loan is pretty close to the perceived value.
Right. To simplify, loan-to-value represents how much debt they have compared to the property's appraised worth. For a landmark of this scale, that kind of valuation and financing structure signifies its robust and attractive financial standing in global capital markets. This refinancing will allow them to refinance $3 billion in current debt, provide $246.8 million for various reserves, and infuse $179.8 million in cash to the owners, ensuring its continued economic power and operational fluidity.
So, why is understanding Rockefeller Center today important for you? It's far more than just a historic landmark. It's a living, breathing, and continuously evolving urban complex.
Not just a museum piece.
Its continued financial relevance, sophisticated management, and enduring popularity demonstrate how historic landmarks can not only remain vibrant and culturally significant, but also continue to be powerful economic engines, continuously adapting to the complex demands of the modern world. It's a testament to timeless urban planning and adaptive reuse.
And it still holds some secrets, doesn't it?
Oh, it definitely does. Now, for some truly surprising details and fascinating insights, let's unearth some of the secrets embedded within Rockefeller Center's grand history and iconic walls. We touched on this earlier, but it bears repeating with a new, even more dramatic angle. Rockefeller Center, as we know it, almost wasn't built.
That near miss again.
After the calamitous stock market crash in 1929 and the sudden withdrawal of the Metropolitan Opera from the project, it looked like Rockefeller Jr. was left with a devastating, expensive hole in the heart of Manhattan. But instead of abandoning it, he made an unprecedented, audacious gamble. He took on the entire $100 million financing himself, at least initially.
All his own money on the line.
This decision immediately made it, at the time, the world's largest privately owned building complex, a truly unprecedented personal financial commitment during the worst economic crisis in history.
It's a remarkable testament to his personal conviction and willingness to literally put his fortune where his vision was. But here's a secret many don't realize. During its construction, not everyone was impressed.
Critics.
In fact, many local experts and critics weren't always complimentary. Urban planner and influential architecture critic Louis Mumford, writing for The New Yorker, harshly criticized it. In 1931, he dismissed it as mediocrity seen through a magnifying glass, finding its scale overwhelming and its design unremarkable.
Mediocrity. Ouch.
And by 1933, he was even more scathing about its artistic elements, stating, "I cannot find a word of even faint praise for any of the sculptural or graphic decoration now visible on any of the buildings," dismissing the Art Deco elements.
Wow, he really didn't like it. Yet, perception, like architecture, can evolve. By 1940, Mumford's opinion had remarkably shifted, albeit begrudgingly. He conceded in a famous understatement that they get by.
They get by. High praise indeed. It's fascinating how time, functionality, and perhaps sheer presence can change the critical lens on even the most criticized projects.
Definitely. But beyond the public perception and critical reviews, there are literal hidden gems within the complex that few get to experience. Did you know about the secret rooftop gardens that add unexpected greenery to this concrete jungle?
Yes, these truly hidden oases are nestled atop the 620 Lofting Gallery, which is part of the building at 650 Fifth Avenue. They offer absolutely stunning, unexpected views, including a unique perspective of St. Patrick's Cathedral.
Secret gardens with a view.
Nice. However, they aren't publicly accessible outside of special private events, maintaining their exclusive allure. Another fascinating secret concerns one of the most iconic images of the 20th century. Lunch atop a skyscraper, that famous 1932 photograph.
Oh, everyone knows that photo.
Of iron workers casually eating lunch on a steel beam hundreds of feet above the city. That picture, it's so deeply ingrained in our collective memory of daring New York City construction and the spirit of the era. It feels so authentic, so raw.
It really does.
Yeah.
What many don't realize is that it was actually shot from the 69th floor of the RCA building, which we now know as 30 Rock, right here at Rockefeller Center.
Okay, shot at the center.
And here's the alleged secret, a fascinating twist that reveals the early savvy of public relations. According to some archival records and historical speculation, it is alleged to have been completely staged by Rockefeller Center itself to promote the new skyscraper and its daring construction.
Staged? No way.
If true, it was a brilliant, incredibly effective marketing stunt, creating an enduring myth.
Wow, that changes how you see it. Speaking of hidden spaces with a touch of glamour, the legendary Radio City Music Hall, which opened its doors in 1932, contains a truly unique feature, a hidden, opulent apartment known as Roxy Suite.
An apartment inside Radio City.
This luxurious space was designed specifically for vaudeville producer Samuel Lionel Roxy Rothafel, the impresario behind Radio City. It was used for exclusive parties, hosting Hollywood elites like Alfred Hitchcock, and it truly embodies the bygone era of showbiz glamour.
Hitchcock party there. Amazing.
Today, it's meticulously preserved and reserved for VIPs, a secret glimpse into a dazzling past.
And here's a little-known fact that delves into Rockefeller Center's surprising covert role in world events. During the tumultuous years of World War II, it housed the primary U.S. location for British security coordination, or British intelligence.
British spies in Rockefeller Center?
This wasn't just a small clandestine office. BSC was described by historians as a huge secret agency of nationwide news manipulation and black propaganda. Its explicit, audacious aim was to subtly influence American public opinion toward joining the war effort, even before the attack on Pearl Harbor.
Wow, propaganda central.
Room 3603 within the center was a key operational hub for this vast, clandestine effort, a secret war waged from plain sight in the heart of New York.
Incredible. Beyond the covert operations, Rockefeller Center is, of course, a quintessential masterpiece of Art Deco design, adorned with magnificent public art that became a signature of the complex. But one piece in particular stands out for its dramatic controversy.
The Rivera mural.
The mural commissioned from the renowned Mexican artist Diego Rivera in 1932 for a prominent lobby space. Despite his petulant temper and loyalty to communism, which was well known, Rivera was highly sought after for his monumental works.
The clash was absolutely legendary. A collision of art, ideology, and power. In 1934, just as the mural was nearing completion, Rockefeller abruptly had it chiseled off the wall the night before it was to be completed.
Chiseled it off, physically destroyed it.
The specific point of contention: Provera's staunch refusal to remove an explicit depiction of Vladimir Lenin within the mural, which Rockefeller found unacceptable. It's a stark public example of the intersection of artistic freedom, corporate patronage, and political ideologies.
A huge controversy. Thankfully, other prominent works within the center endured, contributing to its Art Deco grandeur. The powerful Atlas statue by Lee Lowry, the dynamic Prometheus statue by Paul Manship dominating the plaza.
Prometheus is iconic.
Jose Maria Cert's captivating American progress and time murals inside 30 Rock, and Barry Faulkner's intricate Intelligence Awakening Mankind mosaic on the 6th Avenue entrance. These pieces are integral to the center's enduring artistic appeal.
Even the name of the famous Rainbow Room, located on the 65th floor of 30 Rock, hold a unique secret behind its colorful name.
The Rainbow Room, right?
It was originally, and perhaps less evocatively, called the Stratosphere Room. However, it was wisely renamed for a cutting-edge RCA color organ that was revolutionary for its time.
A color organ, what's that?
This device would convert music into ever-changing colored lights, which were then dynamically projected onto the dance floor. This vibrant, innovative feature delighted patrons. It was a central attraction until 1986, another detail highlighting the blend of innovation and entertainment in the center's layered history.
Making the room literally a rainbow.
Yeah.
Clever.
And finally, let's circle back to that enduring Christmas tree tradition, adding a few more layers to its story. Beyond its humble, heartwarming Italian immigrant origins, the hunt for the perfect tree actually begins over a year in advance, with scouts diligently searching for the ideal specimen.
A year-long search.
And it's always a donation from its generous grower, never purchased. The sheer scale of its lighting is incredible. The wire for its thousands of lights is long enough to stretch all the way from 30 Rock to Battery Park City at the very southern tip of Manhattan.
That's a lot of wire.
And since 2004, the tree has been topped with a stunning, custom-designed Swarovski crystal star, a masterpiece of craftsmanship and a beautiful, glittering nod to both Italian artisanry and the Stella Cometa, or comet star, often featured in traditional nativity scenes.
And in a gesture that beautifully connects to modern values of sustainability and community, the tree almost always has a second life after the holiday season. Its vast amount of wood is frequently milled and then donated to Habitat for Humanity.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Continuing a legacy of giving and community support, transforming a symbol of celebration into a tangible resource for new homes. It's a wonderful example of how a tradition evolves to meet contemporary needs.
So why should these hidden stories and surprising details truly matter to you? They add incredibly rich, unexpected layers to an already iconic landmark, revealing unexpected turns, audacious decisions, and the complex interplay of art, politics, intelligence, and urban development that shaped not just a building complex, but a pivotal piece of global culture.
Yeah, they remind you there's always more beneath the surface.
They challenge us to look beyond the surface, reminding us that even the most familiar landmarks hold a multitude of untold narratives. So what does this all mean? We've journeyed through 2 centuries of history, from New York's first botanical gardens to a global landmark, and explored the remarkable story of a place and a person, John D. Rockefeller Sr., whose immense vision continues to shape our world.
It really does.
From his groundbreaking, albeit controversial business practices, to a revolution in modern philanthropy, and the sheer audacity of building a city within a city during a depression, the Rockefeller legacy is truly built through time, reflecting profound resilience and adaptation.
It's a powerful reminder that behind every grand structure, every enduring tradition, and every massive fortune, there are complex layers of human stories, of innovation, struggle, remarkable adaptation, and a deep, sometimes complex commitment to leaving a significant, lasting mark on the world. The impact of Rockefeller's business empire and his systematic, almost scientific approach to giving continues to resonate today, long after the breakup of Standard Oil and the initial construction of the center, shaping both our economy and our societal fabric.
Think about it. How many structures, or indeed how many individuals, have had such a multifaceted, lasting impact on both commerce and community, enduring and evolving through so many economic and cultural shifts?
It's rare, very rare.
It truly makes you wonder what seemingly small decision or bold investment made today might become a foundational pillar for generations to come, much like Rockefeller's vision transformed a piece of land and a fortune into an enduring legacy.
A profound thought to end on.
Thank you for listening to Built Through Time. We hope you've enjoyed this exploration into one of America's most fascinating stories.